Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain. Today we're going to apply some Arctic TP-3 thermal pads. Now these are 1mm, they don't have 2mm pads. So we're going to have to stack, cut into strips and stack it on top of each other. Not ideal, but it's going to work fine. I mean, if they made a 2mm pad, I would buy that instead and test it, but they don't, so. Excuse me. So I already took the card apart. I'll show you guys just sort of what that looked like here. It, yeah, one pad stuck up here. The core contact patch, it was okay. It was a little thick on this side. So I actually think the pads are creating just a slight issue with compression, but it still made good contact. The core, I guess we'll see what the data shows, but the core might be a little bit hotter due to slightly imperfect contact. But other than that, I didn't want to bore you guys for like an hour and a half while well, I don't know, it might not have been an hour and a half, but I didn't want to bore you while I scrubbed the card. I basically just used isopropyl and these little scrub brushes. They're fairly soft bristled. You know, I guess I'd say pretty comparable to a little bit softer than my toothbrush. Not that I use this one anymore, but because it's got thermal putty on it. Yeah, so we had stability issues with the G-lid pads. It was not the pad's fault. It wasn't the putty's fault. It had nothing to do with really the card, except that the connectors. I had been using these 180 degree connectors, so I'll put the card vertically in the test bench, and then I was this one's clean, so I'm comfortable plugging it in. I would just plug it in like that, right? And it had the PCI Express 8-pin power connector permanently attached, and I was able to just pull these straight out and push them straight in. Now these are only rated for so many cycles. This one's in good condition, but this one's not. And I don't know if you could see there. You see how you can't really see those 3 gold pins on the top right of it? Yeah, those are like burnt and molten. So figured that out. Maybe I'll show you guys a close-up of a picture of it. Let's see if I can find it here. Pictures. Yeah, we're gonna open that up. So, this was after I did quite a bit of cleaning as well. But on this pin here, you can kind of see a close-up there. That's like molten plastic. So, even after I took the adapter off, that was stuck there, and it would have prevented a pin from making ideal contact. So yeah, we swapped that, or took that out. I cleaned it up, scraped that off, and I've got it to a point where I'm pretty happy with its cleanliness. And I did some testing on it last night with the G-lid pads, and we weren't noticing any voltage droop. That's something that Taylor noticed, so thanks for that. That I should be checking for voltage drop. That's definitely something I'll pay attention to more often in the future here. I'm just going to plug these guys back in. I'm kind of glad that I don't always disconnect these, because they'll last longer for me having just doing the card like this, I think. But we're going to roll some TGP10 first, put that in place, and then we'll do the paste and then the pads. So the card's pretty clean. Let me zoom in here a little bit, and I'll get the focus sorted out for you, for all you 4K viewers. So I cleaned up quite a bit on the VRMs. Did a lot of scrubbing. Had to get rid of that the Helm's Eye putty. Okay, that stuff's good. We'll just, yeah. Just like one other piece I'm gonna get out here. So I'm just gonna dab the surfaces of the VRM with a chunk of putty, and just it should apply a little bit of a light film to it. That's gonna help with adhesion when I place the putty down. This stuff, being the oldest TGPP10 I'm using, doesn't lay down much of a film at all, but even a little bit will help. Just makes it easier so that when I place it, it doesn't flop out of position on us. And I'm gonna chop a piece there, something like that. Yeah. Just lightly pressing this into position, just enough for it to stick in place. Yeah. Alright, that's it for TGPP10. We still have some left of the same. I had way too much on there before, so. Plus I still have a bunch in this container. And some in a piping bag somewhere. Yeah, I gotta get this video done fairly quick, or stream, because my wife and daughter are on the way back home, and I'd like to hang out with them once they get back. But I think I got enough time just to slap this thing together and get it up on the test bench. Get it crunching. We're going to do the core first. Alright, so we're going to cut strips that are sorry, I'm just trying to make it so it's not doing increment stuff at all. Millimeters. 14 millimeters. So we're going to cut strips that are 14 millimeters wide. And let's see. And I'm going to have to do at least one more. A little bit wider. And we'll cut one more strip. Okay, so I'm thinking, based on the two different types of film that are on here, there's a very smooth film on one side, and then there's that, like, what seems like a corrugated, slightly textured film on the other side. We're going to put the textured film, or side down, having the smooth side up, and then we're going to put the other one smooth side to smooth side, basically. And I'm going to try and be as careful as I can while I place it, so that we don't, or we try and avoid any air bubbles. So if I let the center of it contact first and push it out, should try and help mitigate anyways a little bit. So textured side down. Hey, Flip Flop, how's it going, man? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. You bought the Arctic TP-3 as a backup if your H1300 would somehow be your wrong version. Yeah, in case it shows up as that 8-watt stuff. Or if you ever run into issues, I mean, it's always nice having something as a backup plan. I even say, like, for people that are, oh, I'm just gonna push that down a little bit. Doing like laptops and stuff that already have putty, if they decide to swap it, it's always good to try and save the factory stuff, just in case you run into issues, you know. Or if you don't buy enough putty, that's what a lot of people do, is they'll buy the bare minimum, assuming it's going to be lots, and then it's not. Yeah, I get it. People don't want to spend too much. But it's funny coming from, like, having to use thermal pads and buying 3, 4, or 5 different sizes and spending like $60 and not always getting great results, to then being able to do an entire card for like $20 with like $23 for a 50 gram Canadian. That's well, that's a UTP-8, you know, you can save money by getting CX H1300 as well. It's a pretty good bang for buck. Sorry, I just didn't want that to sit awkwardly. There we go. Riaz Patel. Hey Snarks. I ended up using TP-3 over the G-Lid Extreme due to compression challenges. Yeah, and the GP Extremes are the soft ones, right? From G-Lid, whereas like the GP Ultimates, which we're gonna also test, it's just hard getting good compression of all the different size pads at the same time, which is why I always go putty now. But hey, I'm testing pads for you guys, so that, and for anyone new to thermal putty, I mean, you can go with pads, but I always lean towards putty nowadays. Okay, so we've got TGPP10 put back on the VRMs. We got MX4 on the core. Just for testing purposes, I'd use a different paste if I was doing maintenance on this card in a normal scenario. But we're trying to keep all the testing consistent. So I'm going to just spin this around. And I gotta look at my phone for a split second. Yeah, it was just an email, but luckily it wasn't hit the road, go to location kind of email. Yes, we'll do a final peel on these. These are soft. I would definitely, yeah, They're not too bad for firmness. Well, let's tell you what. I'll put the card together and then we'll play with the two pads and see how they compare. But let's do a tilt test. Yeah, everything's stuck on still. For some reason, OBS minimized. There we go. I must have bumped something. And we'll get some screws. Screwdriver. Yeah, I would say they seem softer than G-Lid Extremes. I wish they'd make them in 2mm thicknesses though. I don't mind stacking. I know the internet is all sorts of people saying one way or the other. I think when I tested the GP Ultimates previously, I was using stacked pads. So I was considering crunching the G-Lid stuff on stream, but I don't think I have enough time before my wife and daughter get back home. So I'll probably do that after the stream. Okay, let's do these screws. And then we'll play with the thermal pads a little bit. Compare the TP-3s to the G-Lid Extremes for how soft they are. Yeah, you're right. To flip-flop 2mm is like a super common size. It's what almost the vast majority of 30 series cards that I've personally handled have been 2mm pads and approximately 1.8mm gap for the VRAM. And then there's like 2mm and a mix of other sizes for the rest of the stuff, but yeah, VRAM on the 30 series was quite often 2mm thermal pads. Okay, that's the card back together. Kind of bit of a pad sandwich there. It's gonna work okay. So I'll put that off to the side for a moment. And let's get some pads here. Okay, these are the TP-3s. I mean, they don't have a... It's like, they don't make a putty, obviously, because they don't have any of the correct binding agents. But they're pretty... I don't know. They're firmer than most putties. In a pinch, you could use it like that if you needed to. Yeah. If I had to put a... can't really put a number on it, but... So this is G-Lid, this is Arctic TP-3. The Arctics are a little softer, yeah. Still not as soft as a putty. It just wants to hold together too much. I mean, it's a pad, it's meant to hold together, but... yeah. You can definitely compress G-lids, but the extremes. And this is not the ideal size to play with, but it just this 1 mil from Arctic. Yeah, it feels a little more squishy than the G-lid extremes. Riaz Patel, I wrote a long story and replied to someone else. If you're interested, I can post reply. I don't know where that is. Is that on like a Reddit thing, or is that for me or for someone else in the stream? I'm also opening up the Discord. You know what? Maybe we'll do that right now. Let me just clean a couple things up here. I'm gonna grab the invite link, and then I'll post it. And then if you guys feel like joining my Discord channel, I've got like a community section there where folks can post their experiences and pictures and talk about all sorts of stuff. Mostly thermal interface materials, but let me just clean this up a little bit and get the keyboard back over here. Yeah, I would definitely try a putty first. I think you're going to be happy with CXH1300. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Push the button there. All right, let me grab invite link here. Just got to open up Discord. I'm always trying not to have Discord running when I'm streaming because it's constantly going off, and I can't figure out which channel I'm subscribed to that's making sound, and it's quite bothersome. So I don't know why, but create, where's it? Invite people. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna... That's the Discord channel. Didn't see any link in the details for the Discord. Yeah, there wasn't a link yet. I just posted that just now. But I will add it after the stream is done. I'll add it to the description. And yeah, we'll get some more people into Discord. It'll be good. Guys, I think that is it for the stream for now. I will get this card on the test bench, get it going, and maybe I'll see you guys over in Discord where we, yeah, trying to have build a community around thermal interface materials. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Snarks Domain out.